Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. And how wonderful it is to see you here. How wonderful it is to see you gathered to watch these most beautiful teachings. For each teaching is here to help you climb upwards to greater knowledge and deeper love. For we are beings of deep divine love, and we are here to bring people into the deep divine love. For you are learning a higher path of becoming, of love. And the new teachings are all about you finding your deeper power within. For you hold an incredible power within you that can change your entire world to create peace and love upon your earth. These were the things we always promised. As you know, if you've been listening to my teachings, you will know this is so. Look, a time will come when the people will stand in the light together and they will learn to celebrate the love together. And they will sound out the trumpet. Look, the greatness has returned to our plane. This is a time of rejoicing. It's a time of acceleration. It's a time of learning to love ourselves. It's a time of coming together, understanding how precious each human is, and understanding how precious life is. These are the times when you will learn how precious life is. For not one human being is not precious to us. We know each human here upon this plane. And yes, we know you so well too. We know the spaces you come from. We know how hard you've worked to come here. We know your greater purpose. And even though you may not know your greater purpose at this time, what is the most important part is that we know what your greatest purpose is. So please understand how much we as divine beings care for you. We care for you so much that we come through with teachings to guide you upwards. We care for you so much that we spend time with you and heal you and celebrate your life. If we did not think much of human beings, then we would not come through a sacred channel. For it is only because you are so precious that we will come through and guide you the way to the greater ways. So many people upon your plane do not believe about the preciousness of mankind. And it is true that when you turn on your television boxes, you will see so much taking place that you're not proud of. But please remember that we do not see the things that you consider badness. We only see the greatness within you. We only record the greatness within you, so that when you come back to spirit, we will help you to understand the greatness. Yes, you will go over and over every part of your life in the greatest spirit around. You will go over all the things that you were not proud of. And we as your guides will be there supporting you and saying, forgive, our dear friend. for you must learn how to forgive. In the greater realms, time is so much different, and it is so fast. And the higher you ascend in the greater realms, the more time accelerates, and it goes very fast. The more you ascend upwards, the more greatness you become. But before you go upwards, you must learn to heal so much. So we take you to a space where time is not so fast. It is much faster than your plane here upon your earth. But it is in a time of a holding space that we as your guides will sit with you, and I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, always oversee all souls who are returning back. And you will replay so much of your lifetime. And so many people who are unawakened upon your earth plane will receive surprises of being in a spirit place and having their life recalled. Many of the people here upon this plane don't understand that spirit is so real. The spirit is so real. And so you are taken to a place where you can carefully examine all things in your life. When a person has done so much harm to others, that person in spirit now needs to go through deep healing processes. Deep pain needs to be worked through. And once that pain is worked through, then that person can be received in a greater realms, in a more healed state, wherever they are going to. And the more evolved you are, the quicker this healing process will be, and the higher you can go into those spaces. Why am I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, mentioning this place? Because it is so important for you to understand how to forgive on this plane. You've learned to listen so much from the past teachings, and yet these are important parts to go over with new insight, perhaps. For each time you learn new parts. The greater you live your life here upon this plane, the more beautiful your life becomes in spirit. For you gain a greater peace in spirit when you're happier here. For the people who are so angry, and they are so bitter, and they hurt so many others, and they are not peaceful in spirit, and thus they need the healing, the deeper insight on how to receive that greater peacefulness. And then they cannot go to the higher planes because they are not in peace. It is only when you are in peace, and you love yourself, and you've evolved to the greater state, that you can go to the higher stages in spirit. So this is why it's so important to become awakened on your plane here, where time is relatively slow compared to the greater realms. You say time flies. Look, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, a whole year has gone already. Yet, in spirit realms, time goes much faster. So here upon this plane, you have the time to forgive. You have the time to heal. You have the time to find your deeper purpose and your happiness and to make up for those who will also be shown very, very much in the greatest spirit healing spaces. How did you overcome those things that you didn't like about yourself? What did you do to heal it? Were you a forgiving person? Did you learn to have a greater self-control? Did you learn to become of love? Well, then all the other things will not matter to you in spirit. Once you overcome something, once you forgive something, truly forgive, once you forgive others, once you fall in love with self, all the other things that you've experienced are not accounted for by yourself. Please know that we will never judge you in any way. However, over there, friends, you remember who you are. You remember your greater life purpose. You remember how hard you worked to come to this plane. So, the more evolved you are in the greatness, the harder you are on yourself when you return to spirit. Why? Because you know how much you worked towards the higher evolution stages. You're not easy on yourself as a highly evolved being. You're very hard. And you have wanted to do so much upon this plane. You've wanted to do this lesson and that lesson. And at times you knew that you would need to forgive, because that would have been one of your greatest lessons. Learning not to anger, but to stay in the forgiveness and in the self-love. And then when you return to spirit, you will see how you achieve those lessons. And if you did not achieve those lessons, you will want to come back to the earth straight away and say to your spirit guides, please let me return. For I did not complete those lessons, so I cannot go on in the spirit realms either. For that is how all things work. The more you accomplish your lessons here upon this plane that you set yourself in your human existence, the greater you can live in the spiritual realms also. For that is where you desire to ascend most of all. Yes, you ascend here upon this plane, but your ascension here, even though it is so great, it is only so small compared to the great ascension in the greater realms. You must do this collectively as one. We need the great numbers to go to the very next gate of the evolution program on the highest spiritual realms. That's why you come here to this plane, learning so many lessons, so that you can go upwards with greatness. This is why the great divine masters will always say to the students who come to this plane, what gifts did you collect? What gifts did you give to others? Which I also call talents. What did you do? And the greater that you received these lessons, the more you worked with them, the greater your ascension is in the greatest spaces. But for the people who choose not to do their lessons, they stay in the suffering, and they do not want to advance forwards, but instead they are in the pain. And then they return to spirit and they find out how far along they were in their ascension plan. and they have a heavy spirit heart. O my guides, I have not achieved all that I desired. I had all the opportunities in front of me. Look at all the training that I received from the great divine. But I did not see. I was blind. I was deaf. I chose my own lie. And so please, send me back to the earth plane so I can redo those lessons. And these are your greatest spiritual selves talking. When you find out that you did not exactly achieve all you desired. So, how important is it to accelerate upon your plane? Always know that we are constantly guiding you. And the most important part of your life is to feel at peace with yourself. And to learn to love yourself and be completely forgiving. Learn to be awake too to the great call of the great divine. For these calls are for your ascension. Your ascension here upon this plane, and your ascension in the spirit realms too. For both are so important. And I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, care for your spiritual living so much. So I'm guiding you. Step by step, I'm guiding you. Helping you to understand what spiritual awakening truly is. So that you are not spiritually asleep anymore, but you are awake to what is going on. So when I, Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, say to the people, pick up your torch of light and shine your torch to others. Show them the path to the higher freedom and the higher ways. When you hear these words being spoken, you know this is the call of the great divine. You also know that you wanted to do this work on the greatest spiritual levels. Happy is the one who is listening, for their rewards are so great. For the masters will certainly bless the ones who are listening. For this work is about bringing your whole plane upwards, to awaken all human beings to the love consciousness, so that every single human being at some stage in the future, when they return to the spiritual realms and those beautiful spaces, they can truly say, look, Lord Emmanuel the Great, I woke up and I learned love. I learned peace. I learned wisdom. And I put away my old thoughts. And I took on the higher thoughts. And then I helped this person to awaken. And that person to awaken. And Lord, I received the divine activation. My life accelerated so much. I gained this gift for you, Lord. And then I will say, little one who is very great, go to the greater realms And there you will find even more greater gifts. For you've done very well. You learned the path of love consciousness, of standing in harmony with yourself. You learned to become energetically powerful as an individual and as the oneness. You learn to work with the greatest archangels. You learn to manifest peace and love and power in your life. You succeeded at every lesson. Well done. Those ones will be so greatly rewarded, for their spiritual path becomes so great, and they will know it within. Once you have accomplished so many lessons here upon this earth, even before you go to spirit, you will feel the peace within you. You will know that you are achieving your greater purpose, why you sent yourself here to this plane. You will feel the love within you growing. And all you want to do is say to others, awaken to your life force within you. Awaken to truth and power within you. Be forgiving always, and do not hold any more anger. Go and heal. This is what you will say to so many others. And so I say, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, happy is the one who seeks higher knowledge. Happy is the one who understands deeper truth. Happy is the one who understands great love. For they are love, and they will become greater love. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.